Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we're back. Website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Hey, we're going to talk timeshare exit strategy right here with the owners of Lone Star Transfer, Brian and Karen Holloway. And their website, of course, is LoneStarTransfer.com, LoneStarTransfer.com. And we've all heard the horror stories of timeshares, and we know folks that have had some really hard times with timeshares, and in particular, trying to get out of them. So, folks, welcome Brian and Karen to the show. How we doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing good, Mike.
I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you guys back here live.
Thank you.
So let's just real quick again for everybody kind of in a nutshell talk about what you guys do and how it's so different and how you – because most people think, how do I get out of a timeshare? Can I get out of timeshare? Then they find out they can't, and it's so difficult. And so let's talk about what you guys do in helping people actually to get out of timeshares and alleviate them of all the problems they have with timeshares, even if they've paid one off, but they keep getting those maintenance fees all the time. Let's talk about what you guys do.
Well, we absolutely help timeshare owners get out of their timeshare. And what makes us different is we're local. And I think that's really important. There's a lot of timeshare owners that are looking to get out of their timeshare, but they don't really know where to go. And so Brian and I just feel really committed to be working in our community.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That is extremely important. And most of the time you guys are, you can help people over the phone, of course, but most of the time, by and large, you actually, sit down and meet with folks.
Yes, absolutely. I was going to share with you a story. We met with a gal that came into our office this week, and boy, we hear this story all the time, but since we just was talking to her about it, she came into our office in Rockwall, and she was just sharing with us that her mom had passed away a couple of years ago, and her mom had a timeshare. And she knew her mom had a timeshare, but she didn't really realize how it was going to affect her. And it was left in her mom's estate, and she had pretty much made it clear that she didn't want it. And she didn't really have a choice on that, she felt. And so she was telling us that she actually had to hire an attorney to talk to the estate attorney. And it was going back and forth and back and forth. And, she was trying to live her life. And this was kind of interrupting it. And
yeah, absolutely.
Really frustrating for her. And she actually shared with us that she just said, oh, just give me the darn timeshare. It was getting just so expensive going back and forth with the attorneys. And she was actually in our office and having to, get some help from us for something that she never even purchased. And we hear that often.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The way these timeshare contracts are written, they really are perpetual. They assign to your heirs, as you're saying. This was the mother's, and it was debts go into the estate, and the estate has to be settled, when we pass on. And so, unfortunately, and even though in her case she hired an attorney, attorneys aren't cheap.
That's right.
A reasonable cost one is maybe going to charge you $400 or $500 an hour, and that's if you can find one that's going to charge that.
That's what she said.
Charge $400 or $500 an hour, most of which are at $750 to $1,000 an hour, or even more. So, you're going to have to really search the old phone book and the old internet websites to try to find somebody, even at $500, $400 an hour.
Exactly.
So that adds up really quick, and then so in her situation, she said, you know what, I'll just take it. Because it's just adding up and adding up and adding up. So even an attorney who could probably eventually get it done, but how much are you going to pay them to get it done?
She was saying it was going on 3 years. 3 years to settle that, because you have to accept it in order for it to be settled, apparently. And it just drug on and took a lot of time and money to get that fixed.
Well, and it also can hold up settling the entire estate.
Yes.
So if there are assets in the estate, after the liabilities are handled, then and those are set to pass on to the heir, next of kin, whatever the case may be, but that can be held up by these timeshares being in that estate, and so for all those folks that you've got one and you're heading into the golden years and you're not using them anymore. you need to dispose of these things now before your next of kin, your spouse, before your children have to deal with these things.
Absolutely.
And if you're in this boat, hey, guess what? Lone Star Transfer can actually get rid of this thing for you. Which even attorneys who charge you gazillions of dollars for, they can get it done eventually, maybe. And even then, sometimes they come to a point where I don't know what else to do.
We do have attorneys that actually refer their clients to us.
Exactly.
And so it makes it nice that we're local and they can come right into our office, and we can certainly take a look at what they have.
Yeah, and it's what you specialize in, and it's kind of the proprietary nature of what you do. Mm-hmm. Attorneys don't specialize in timeshare exit strategy. You really do have to have a relationship with the timeshare companies and, have established what you guys have, which is a proprietary way of operating, working behind the scenes closely with the timeshare companies to figure out ways to get people out of their timeshares.
Absolutely. And it is 100% guaranteed, because I know that is a huge concern to a lot of timeshare owners. And we just offer a free consultation, and everything we do is guaranteed 100%.
Yeah, and there's so many, and even on talk radio, unfortunately, there's a lot of companies out there just advertise away that they do this and they do that. And unfortunately, you guys have run into this so much where you run into competitors who have talked to a prospective client, and they've already paid, that other company thousands of dollars to basically just lie to them and to placate them when they've told them, hey, we get this done for you in 6 weeks, when that's not even possible.
That's right. And, Brian and I, again, we made a commitment to each other never to tell somebody something that makes them feel good. We are always going to tell somebody the facts, so it's nothing that's ever unexpected. Yeah,
in the process, it does take a while. But the good thing is unlike the other companies that say they're going to do it, then they're going to just take your money. Lone Star Transfer is going to tell you exactly what the process is up front, that it's, hey, it's going to be a little bit of a ride. Sometimes it's an easy ride. Sometimes it's a little bit of a bumpy ride, but timeshare companies aren't easy to deal with, which is people already know that if they have one and if they've tried to get out of one. But you guys manage all of that and help them get them out of those transfers. And it's so very important, folks, not to leave a timeshare in your estate for your children to have to deal with. It's going to burden them, and you don't want to burden, the estate being settled. And people just don't think about how it holds up the process of settling an estate. And it really, really does. You don't want to, burden children or next of kin with that.
Yeah, right. You sure don't.
And a lot of times these timeshares are out of state. So, and the people live there in Texas. So we've actually had to help somebody get probate attorneys in another state just so they can deal with this and get it done.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation.
It absolutely is. Well, you guys are the experts in it. And hey, folks, right here in the DFW area, they're local. They can help anybody here in the state of Texas or anybody nationally as well. So if you know somebody in another state, that is having a timeshare issue, getting out of one, they can help them as well. But they're right here for everybody here in Texas and DFW. Their website, LoneStarTransfer.com, LoneStarTransfer.com. Just go to the website and then you can contact Brian and Karen, the owners. They'll talk to you direct and get you taken care of. Hey, folks, we're going to take a short break. See you.